Hi everyone, Becky from Mindful Movement here, coming at you with a quick 15-minute mobility warm-up. This is largely intended for the Women on Weights group that's getting started for this summer program. Typically, Women on Weights is 45 minutes to an hour long, but this summer, so July starting 2026, we're going to be doing 30-minute classes, which means I want you to come into class ready to go, ready to lift the weights. So this is a warm-up you can use before class. The intention is just to get the body moving, to get a little bit more range of motion in the joints before we start placing load on them with dumbbells. Ideally, maybe 10-15 minutes when you come in before class, just do a little bit of efforting with some mobility, some warm up. Sometimes different joints need a little bit longer. Some people's ankles are a little bit more tight and need more range of motion work, and some people's shoulders do. So whatever you got going on in your body, just respect that and make it work for you. So how we're gonna start is how we start most mindful movement activities, with a couple deep breaths. So just land on your feet, soften the knees a little bit, let the arms relax. We're gonna start taking deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. So again, deep, long breaths using that nice, strong diaphragm muscle. In through the nose. Just give yourself a moment here to check in with yourself. See if you need to let go of any holding in the jaw. Relaxing through the upper neck and upper trapezius maybe. One more deep, long breath here before we get started. Good. All right, hopefully you feel a little bit more centered and grounded. Start to take your feet into a march. So just picking up one leg at a time. And start to get this connection with your core for a little bit more stability, and just bring some awareness to a little bit of a single leg balance for a moment. Yeah. Right, and then we're gonna plant the feet as wide as the outer hips here. Let the arms be loosey-goosey and take a little bit of this pivoting with the arms rotating. You could take the head, neck with you and kind of look to where your arms and the trunk of your body is heading. If you're somebody that has a vulnerability to vertigo, I always recommend just keep the head center. That way you're not spinning the head too much. All right, we'll do two more, 1 and 2. Good. And then go ahead and come right back in the plant feet position. All right, one of my favorite mobility drills for shoulders. Taking the hands behind the back, palms face out. Pulling the shoulders back and trying to squeeze your elbows back as though you're trying to squeeze a ball between the elbows. You can see a little bit of the front length in the spine, so extension through the spine here. Next, we take these hands out. You're gonna reach the hands out, palms face forward into a big victory arm, reaching to the space behind you as much as you can. So if you're a little bit to the front of your head, see if you can reach the arms back. Next is fingertips behind the ears, and then spinal flexion, which just means we're gonna scoop into a little bit of that cat shape. We're rounding as in cat-cow. Scooping the elbows, pull together, you get wide across the upper back, and then you're gonna open out of this with lifting the heart, lifting the sternum, pulling the elbows back to the victory arms, back to the handcuff position, which just means the hands are rotating, facing out. They place right behind your sacrum. Pull your elbows back and chest forward, and then relax that for a moment. Make sure your feet are outer width, hip apart, right into the hip hinge from here. So keeping that handcuffed hand position. Your hips are gonna go back. So you're gonna think about if there was a drawer behind you in your kitchen you wanna close, and you're reaching your sits bones back, and then you're gonna pull the hips right underneath the trunk of your body. 2 more. Hips go back, spine is lengthened, knees soften. Look for a little bit of engagement into the back of the legs, into the hips here, and then stand tall. One more. Hips go back, close that drawer behind you. Good. And then slowly bring that back up. All right, go ahead and shake that out a little bit. Walk it out. So from here, we're gonna hold a lunge and we're gonna work several other things. First thing is a little bit of front hip flexor and into a little bit of the quad. So right foot forward, left leg back. And if you feel like you're already a little bit balance challenged, you can have fingers to the wall, or you can bring your feet a little wider in width, east to west. That will help. And then from here, you're gonna rock off the back foot. So you're gonna rock off of it and place the heel down. So we're just gonna warm up through the ankle and foot here. So pressing up as though you're doing like a calf raise, you're pushing off, and then you're landing the heel. 2 more, press up, back, 1 more. So warming up through the plantar fascia, through the ankle, through the calf. And now we're gonna bend the back knee in and extend the leg out. So you can see the back right heel's lifting. You're gonna drive through the hip a little bit. So think sits bones in under, pubic bone up, so we can get a little length into the quad group. Good, 2 more like this. Bending that back, right knee, scooping the pelvis a little. 1 more. Bending. If you don't feel a stretch into the quad group, you might have to take a bigger step back. All right, so there's 1 little adjustment. And then pressing the back heel down, pausing. From here, these are very little mini knee bends. Keeping the back heel down, you're bending the right knee a tad and then extending the right knee. So you're gonna think bending softly into the right knee, feeling more of a stretch in the ankle, and then extend, bend, feel the stretch into the front of the shin, ankle, Achilles, extend. 1 more, bend, and extend. Beautiful job, come on in. Let's change it to the other side. So shake that off. Right foot forward, left leg back. First set, remember that we just push off the foot a little bit and bring it back. So you're gonna press off, bring it back. You're lifting the back heel up, pushing through the ball of the foot, really stretching into that plantar fascia and getting a little bit of loading through the foot. And then we switch it to the knee bend and pelvis tuck, extend the leg. So we're right into that knee bend, driving the hip forward, extend. Think about tucking your tailbone each time and going into that mini lunge. 2 more. Knee bend, tuck, get that length in the front of the thigh. Good. 1 more. Good. And then we extend the knee, meaning we're trying to straighten the back left knee as much as possible. Then we're simply softening it a little and extending it. Barely letting the load off the back heel and then extending it. Letting the load off the back heel a little bit with a mini knee bend. Extend. 2 more. Bend. Extend. 1 more. Bend. Extend. Beautiful. Okay. Come off of that. So ankles, front of the thigh. We got a little bit into the deep calf. Now a little bit more for the hamstring group. So let's go back to the top of the mat. You're going to take a mother may I step with your right foot. Plant your heel. Send your hips back in the hip hinge. Spine long. Trying to feel the back of the right leg. And then you're going to lift your head and heart, step on that. And then a mother may I step with left foot. Hips go back. Pull the toes towards your nose. Plant your foot. Let's take 2 more steps. Right foot. Send the hips back. Lengthen your spine. The more long you stay in your spine, the more load you're going to get in the back of the leg. 1 more here. Left leg. Sit back. Lengthen over the front side of that right leg. Left leg, actually. And then march it out. All right. Got the hamstrings. hip flexors. Let's go a little inner thigh here. Wide straddle. Start to take a little bit of a left-right lunge here. And you're sitting back into this. So you're going to think over to the side, but not just over to the side, hips back. So literally your trunk of your body reaches out over the thigh that you're leaning into. So you're leaning over, but you're also leaning forward while your sits bones go behind you. That's going to help get into some of that interior pelvis region, which we're going for. So 2 more here, 1 more here, and then come on up. Shake that out. All right, got a lot done. Let's go into some of the deeper hip internal external rotators. So we're going to come down on the floor for this one. We'll be in a 90-90. You'll take one leg into the front, one leg into the back, hence 90-90. So literally you've got one leg making the 90 shape, the other leg making the 90 shape. From here, you're going to take your hands forward and you're going to start to reach out over the front thigh. So think about bringing your chest down on top of the front thigh. Reach and then pull it back in. Again, you're going to press your arms out, reach your chest over as though you're doing pigeon back and forth. So it is essentially a pigeon stretch with this back and forth. So we have 2 more after this one. For range of motion, we go back and forth. For flexibility, we hold longer, but because this is a warm-up, this is more of a dynamic warm-up. 1 more. Hence, not hanging out in pigeon for several breaths. All right, and then back up. Good. So then we're just going to switch your pigeon. You're going to go up and over. The other leg is forward. You've got your knee there. You're going to take your hands, reach them out, start to reach way out in front of you so that your chest might not lay down on the front thigh, and that's okay. So we're reaching forward, reach, reach, reach. And then you're going to come back up. 3 more like that. Reach, reach, reach. 2 more. This usually feels pretty good on those hips. 1 more. Good. All right, we're going to shake off the legs here. So legs go together, shake them off, and then we'll flip right over hands and knees. Last little bit here for mobility. Cat-cow with a reversed finger position. So turning your fingers to face your knees. If this feels too much in the wrist, you could go a little more fingers face side, all right? You're going to tuck the feet again because we're going to get back into that plantar fascia, bottom of the feet. From here, you're going to do a cat round. So it's a scoop of the belly, a little bit of a lean back, stretching into the forearms. And then you're going to come out of it into that forward cow, a little bit of a lift in the chest. So 1 more like that. We're going to scoop the belly, lean the hips back a little, press the heel of the hand down, deep stretch into the forearms and wrists, spread your fingers wide, and then into the cow shape, forward, tail up, head up. Good, and then come right off of the hands. Give your wrists some loving. So that can be intense, especially if you're somebody that sits on a keyboard for many hours. So go easy on that one. Good, just take that out. All right, we're gonna end on a down dog. So we're gonna load those hands again, loading shoulders and wrists because we're gonna be loading them with our dumbbells soon. So tucking your toes, reaching your hips up, start to soften your heels down towards the floor. If you have a favorite down dog tradition, go ahead and do that. So you might do a little bit of a side walk the dog. Finish out your favorite down dog moves. And then we'll end up back into that forward fold. So we're in a forward fold and you're gonna slowly come on up. Whew. All right, shake that off. That concludes pretty full warm-up mobility for pre-lifting. You can do this before you're going out for a run even, before you're doing anything. It's a great warm-up to do. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna be using it for women on weights for the summer program. Getting in, getting done this, and then we'll be going right into class. I wanted that 30 minutes to be all strength training. This way you're going to be able to get your warm-up done ahead of time and then just join in the 30-minute class, and then you'll be in and out before you know it. So I hope you can join me for that. If you're looking for details, everything's up on my website. Hope to see you there, and have a great summer, everyone.